Welcome to another episode of the Passionpreneur podcast. I am your host, Ryan C. Greene. Welcome back. I know it has been a hiatus for a while, but we are back. I'm excited about the new show. I'm excited about the new direction and what we are doing with the Passionpreneur podcast. We are finally at the point where we are releasing the book, Becoming a Passionpreneur. So look out for that. I'm going to give you some more information on that a little later in the show. But I want to welcome our returning listeners and welcome those who might be listening for the first time. Again, I am Ryan C. Greene. You can get all the information you want on me at ryancgreene.com. That's Greene with the E. If you're listening, you can subscribe to the Passionpreneur podcast on iTunes or Apple Music, as it's called now, Spotify, as well as Google Podcast or any other podcast player. You can go to passionpreneurpodcast.com as well. Listen, I'm excited. We are going to jump right in. Did you like the new theme music? How about that? Did you like the new theme music? Send me a note. Let me know what you thought about the new theme music. You can follow me on all social medias at RyGSpeaks. You can follow me on. Let me know what you think about the new theme music. And also make sure you leave a note or a comment or about the podcast or wherever it is that you may listen to it so that others may know just how dope we are. All right, great. I want to jump in today. Today's topic we're going to discuss is called the patience for the process. We're going to discuss the patience for the process. Anyone who is out there trying to become a passionpreneur, trying to create something for others to consume, understands that there's a process that we all go through. You understand that as you're building something, that it doesn't always just come out and the first time around as perfect. There's a process. There's different steps and things you must go through in order to make it right. And we want to talk about that today, the patience for the process, because if you've been following me for a while, you know that the Becoming a Passionpreneur book, which is available now at passionpreneurbook.com, has been a process. Man, this idea for this book came about 3 years ago. So it's been like a 3-year process of putting this book together. And it's been several iterations of the book. It's been several different things. And we're going to talk about that and why the patience for the process is so important and how you can benefit from that, how not to be discouraged because the first time you want to try something, it doesn't necessarily come out when or how you wanted it to go. So let's jump right into the patience for the process. The process, we're going to use the book, Becoming a Passionpreneur, for the example, but you can go ahead and insert your own story, your own example, your own business, your own idea that you're trying to get off the floor that you want to work with. Let's put that in there when you're listening to the show. The first thing, the patience for the process, the first thing that helps with that patience for the process simply is prayer. You know, as you are going, I believe that we are all created by the Creator, and He gives us the ability to go and create. So whenever we are pouring out of ourselves as a creative person, I can't take credit for what comes out of me. So the only way I can make sure that it's right, the only way that I can make sure that it is the best version of what the creation should be is to pray. And I pray that, throughout this process, and I prayed about this book, and I prayed that, I said, Lord, give me what it is you want me to share in the way you want me to share it. And then once I was clear on what that message was supposed to be, then it was about, praying for the resources, or praying for the right time, praying for the right way to deliver it. So prayer, when you're going through your process, will help you to get through that process because it gives you that focus, it gives you that clarity, it gives you the direction of knowing that what you're doing is not in vain, what you're doing is really what you're called and supposed to be doing. So definitely want to make sure that you do that. The second part of patience for the process, when we're developing the patience for the process, is that it also helps you to really get clear on your passion. All right. Getting clear on your passion. Clearly, we're talking about becoming a passionpreneur. And when we're talking about becoming a passionpreneur, when you're going through the process of creating something, getting clear on that passion is important because You may be doing something because you're good at it. You may be doing something because someone else told you should be doing it. But when you slow down a little bit and when you take a step back, it allows you to really make sure that you're doing something that you're passionate about doing. Because you don't want to spend time and energy and resources into doing something that you don't even really like doing that much just because you can do it. And I talk about this in the book. One of the skills that I have is that I can create websites. I'm pretty good at creating websites. It's a gift. It's a talent that I have. But here's the thing. I don't like doing it. I don't enjoy creating websites. I create websites because I can. I create websites because I have to. But I don't use that I don't make a business out of that. That's not what I provide to the marketplace, simply because it's not something that I'm passionate about doing. I don't want to be in a business that I don't like. If I wanted to do work that I didn't like all day, I would do like 70% of the people in America and just go get a job that I don't like. Okay. But understanding that, really tapping into what that is you're passionate about. Sometimes when you're able to slow down, when things don't go right initially, sometimes it's about realigning that passion. It's about making sure that you're really moving towards what it is you're passionate about. And sometimes you'll have roadblocks in a way that will serve as signs or that, hey, this is not going to serve you best in the long term. So make sure that you always are looking towards what that passion is. All right. And if you haven't picked up yet so far, these are all going to start with the letter P. All right. So the patience for the process, the next thing, the next benefit is that it enables you to develop the best plan. All right. The plan. When you are building anything, you need a plan. And I know when I started out 3 years ago with the Passionpreneur idea, the plan I had was totally different than the plan I had now. Even the book was different. The book was called Reigniting Your Fire Within, How to Become a Passionpreneur. And now as the book has developed over the 3 years process, it went from there to the millionaire mindset, to back to what it was originally supposed to be. You're becoming a passionpreneur, and now Reigniting the Fire Within is actually a part of the book. Originally, that was going to be the whole book. It was going to be 31 days to reigniting your fire within, and talking about how to really tap back into how to rekindle those dreams and how to revive your passion and your purpose. But as I wrote that part, and I realized that, this wasn't enough, or this wasn't good enough. It was enough to get someone started, but then it kind of just left you hanging. There was no practical how-tos on how to now, once you reignited that fire, how to really grow and become a passionpreneur, how to build that business that you want to build. So over the 3 years, the plan changed, and the book grew. And not just the book itself, but the plan on how to launch it, the plan on what to do with it, the plan on the podcast. All of those things start to come together because we had the patience and not rushing the process. Okay, so we were able to sit back and say, okay, this might not be the right timing. Let's really go take a step back, slow down, and really put together the best product. You got to ask yourself, when you're designing and you're developing something, would you rather put out something fast that might be subpar, or would you really want to take a step back, take a little longer to put out something that's going to be the best representation of you and the best offering to the marketplace? So that's what we did. All right. And then also the patience for the process allows you to find the right people. All right. When you're slowing down and really taking time to go through the process and develop something valuable, you will undoubtedly meet and interact with better people. And too often as solopreneurs, you find yourself feeling like you're the only one that can do something. If it has to be done right, you're going to be the one to do it. We're going to challenge that myth in the book as well. But understand that when you're able to meet the right people, it opens up more doors. And those doors may be financial doors. Those doors may be different stages you can step on. Those doors may be other opportunities to really share who you are and what you do. But when you have the right people around you, when you're able to build better relationships and build a better team, it makes it more fun. It takes away the stress of always having to do everything yourself. It takes away the heartache of always feeling like you're in this by yourself and you're alone. But when you can really open up and allow other people to sow into your vision, to sow into your purpose, and really help you grow through your process, then those people will be beneficial. And I'll take a detour right here, because let me tell you about the power of people. See, one of my companies, Six Figure Author Mastery, you may be familiar with it. What we do is we help authors market and sell their books, turn their $20 books into six-figure revenue streams. One of the things that we do is we've put together a Amazon.com bestseller training program. Okay, and what we do is we provide resources, we provide all the tools you need to help your book and your new release become an Amazon.com bestseller. All right, so just recently we released a new book organized by Katrina Ferguson called Women of Worth. There were 27 different authors in this book. And here's what I talk about: people. These people came together and through all the obstacles that there may have been, these people understood that this process together, they were better doing it with each other. So they came together, and I was included in this. We put together the marketing plan, the book, and when it was released, we hit 12 Amazon.com bestsellers list. 12. Like, not just one, not two, not three, in my LeBron James voice, not 7, 8, 9, 10, but 12 Amazon.com bestseller list, because of the power of the people who were working on the project together. All right, so one book hit 12 Amazon.com bestsellers list. Such an impressive, unprecedented mark for the company. Definitely proud of that. But again, because of the people, we had the patience for the process. We started with some people who didn't have necessarily the patience and wanted to do things differently, and they fell off, and that's fine. You know, you're going to also lose people. So sometimes having that patience is slowing down enough to let people who aren't really with you fall off, and giving yourself time to find out, because I believe in the saying that time will either expose or promote you. And sometimes when you slow down, you're able to let people expose themselves before you're really, really tied into them. So never be too upset about those who leave you along the way as well. Here's another one. All right, as we're talking about the patience for the process, we're going to talk about perfection. Yeah, perfection. Now, we know that nothing can ever truly be perfect. All right. But what happens, what one of the things is that we do strive for perfection. And when you're creating something, when you're able to slow down and you're able to have patience for your process, this perfection, the striving for perfection, is able to take place. So you're able to get things better than they would have been. You're able to get your systems in place and your processes in place. I use the example of people who go viral, who don't have any kind of systems behind the viral video to take advantage of going viral. Now that, we're living in an age where people are becoming famous, people are becoming rich, people are building real companies and brands off of viral videos. But I wonder just how many others are missing their opportunity because they weren't patient. And what I mean by that is they had an idea for a viral video. They went out there and shot something, or maybe it was just a random type of video that happened. It wasn't planned, and they go and they post it, and boom, it's viral. Millions of people are watching the video. And then what happens? Nothing, because they didn't set up anything to take advantage of that notoriety, of that viral nature of that video. Whereas you'll have some people who do have the patience, and what they've done is perfected their system so that when they post the video, if it's going viral, you're going to see their brand in the video. You're going to see a link, hey, go buy this, in the video. Or they're going to have some kind of advertisement they're taking advantage of in the video because they have perfected the process. So some people just going viral to be famous. Some people are going viral to be profitable, to actually build businesses. And that's the same thing with any aspect of your business. You want to make sure that if you're releasing something, you have the you've perfected your systems to gain information. If you're putting out a book, you want to make sure you've perfected the systems to gain the information of those who may be interested in your book. If you're going on if you're doing a cooking segment on the news, your local news has called you in to do a cooking segment, you want to make sure that you've perfected your system so that you can take advantage of the notoriety and the exposure you're going to get on the news channel. Don't just go on there and everyone's hitting you up saying, hey, I saw you. What's going to happen next? What's the next step? So you're going to make sure that you do that. And then finally, we'll close with this. The patience for the process. You want to make sure that you're always putting purpose over profits. Purpose over profits. If your driving force is the profit, then you're always going to fall short. You're always going to feel like you haven't accomplished enough. But when you are motivated by the purpose of what it is you've created, whatever that purpose may be, and helping others, that's going to always drive you towards being more successful. It's always going to bring the profits. And when you're chasing purpose, profits will chase you. All right. So you want to make sure that you're always thinking about that purpose. All right. So that is what I wanted to share today about the patience for the process. As we are going in now, we're ramping up the release. As I said, I would get to a little more information later in the show. Make sure you pick up a copy of Becoming a Passionpreneur. If you like that information, the book is a hardcover book. It's a big book. It's a book that's going to give you some mindset. It's going to give you some tips and some tools on how to really go from being a solopreneur to really growing a business that you can be profitable in, passionate about doing, but also that you're not the one stuck doing all the business. You can actually get freedom and by automating your business. All that is going to be in this book. We're going to teach you all those tools on how to do those things. All right. So we're going to also deal with business myths that are keeping you broke and how to really change the way you look at certain aspects of business. All right. We're talking about how to reignite your fire within. So many people are dealing with they've lost that passion. They've lost that fire inside. And I'm going to give you tools on how to reignite that fire and how to be the spark that you need, and so much more. So go to www.passionpreneurbook.com. You can order your copy now. We have book tour dates coming up. The official launch event is going to be in Laurel, Maryland on May 25th. At the Laurel Library. You can make sure you come out there. If you can't make it out there, if you're not in the area, you can always order your book online. If you want to bring me out to your city, send me a line. We'll make that work. Also going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, the weekend of May 31st and June 1st. June 1st will be at Whiskey Mistress from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on June 1st. So definitely make sure, again, you check us out. We'd love your support. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We will talk again next week. Thank you. Talk to you soon. God bless.